G'day guys, Seeney here and welcome to another episode on the Australian Wealth channel. And in this episode, we're going to be having a look at property prices for August 2021. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps to get these videos out to more people. So we've ticked over to a new month. We are now in September, which means that we have all of the data from the last month in August of what is happening with the housing market here in Australia. And it's basically as I thought. So I'm going to lay out all of the figures that we've seen based on the CoreLogic data so that you guys can get a little bit of an insight into what has actually happened in the housing market in Australia in the last month or so. So half of the country basically is still in lockdown, but this has not stopped property prices from going up at some of the most drastic rates that we have ever seen. You know, this price growth of the housing market is actually so fast that it's getting close to what we actually saw in the late 80s. You know, it's not quite there yet because we actually saw a property price growth, I believe, according to this article, of about 31%. So I believe we're up about 22% year over year, so fantastic growth if you are in the housing market. So I just wanted to break it down by each city so you can get a little bit of an insight into how much property prices have gone up. And, you know, if you own a home, you might be able to revalue your own place based on these estimates. Obviously, you know, Sydney's not just one market, you know, it's lots of micro markets, but on the whole, you can get a little bit of an idea of how your property is doing. Or if you're looking to purchase a property, how much more you might need to save, because it's actually insane how much is going up. So we're going to start with the best city. I know some people might dispute that, but the best city in Australia, and that is of course Sydney. So this month, even knowing that Sydney has been completely in lockdown this entire month, it hasn't stopped the property market from continuing to rise. So we've actually seen a rise in the Sydney market of 1.9%. Just this month. So we're seeing the median price in Sydney now at $1.29 million. So if you want to buy in Sydney, it's getting very expensive. So moving on from there, we have Melbourne, which had price growth of 1.4%. So this brings the median up to $954,000. Of course, Canberra has had some excellent results this month. Of course, as we know, politicians never miss a paycheck.
Well, that's called leadership. That's what I'm about.
And that's what Canberra is. So in Canberra, we saw price growth of 2.4%. So this brings the median up to 933,000. So Canberra is actually getting close to being on par with Melbourne, which is pretty insane when you think about it. Brisbane has gone up 2% this last month, which is fantastic. Hobart has gone up 2.3%. And of course, for some reason, they excluded the data from Perth, and who cares about Adelaide? Of course, I don't mean that. I don't mean it. So why is it that these property prices just continue to go up? Like, it's crazy, you know? We haven't seen anything like this for a long time. But there's a few drivers which I want to talk about. The first one is obviously interest rates. Now, the lower interest rates are, the easier it is to borrow money and the lesser repayments are. So more people are going to spend on properties. So because of these lockdowns, it's actually been a little bit of a blessing in disguise for the property market, because the Reserve Bank will now say that they'll be keeping rates lower for a little bit longer because, you know, there's a lot more economic uncertainty with lockdown. So this has actually led to there being a little bit more confidence, believe it or not, in the property market, and it's continued to go up. So this growth isn't quite as high as we have seen in previous months. I believe that March was the peak, and we saw price growth in Sydney of over 3% in 1 month, which is just a huge figure. Absolutely huge figure. So anyone who's in on that, you know, you're getting some great growth. But we've seen it slow down a little bit since then. We've seen that inflection point and it's coming down. And a lot of this isn't to interest rates, but it's actually due to affordability, I personally believe. So we're seeing properties continue to go up, and that means that for anyone that's looking to buy a property, it's getting more and more expensive for them. So that's something to keep in mind there, that eventually we're going to reach a limit where the affordability just doesn't match up, and we might see a leveling out the property market and a decline. I personally don't see that for months. So I think that month over month, we're going to continue to see a growth in the property market. So if we take all of the capital cities around Australia and we look at that on a national level, property in the month of August has gone up 1.5%. which is great. So, you know, if you own a house that's worth $1 million, then, you know, you've just made yourself like $15,000. So fantastic results. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about this data. You know, did you expect it to be going up? Did you expect it to go down this month because of the lockdowns? Who knows, but we have the data for this month. I think it's gonna keep going. So I'll be really keen to hear what you guys think about in the comments section. So please make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps to get these videos out to more people. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Seeney, and we'll see you later.